young people that do take drugs, many times it begins by peer pressure and trying to fit in. That's how it started for me, being able to fit in, have a sense of belonging in a school environment or in a community that I live in. Eventually, I ended up getting into it more, and it affected me. If I was to describe my life in the US, it would be probably best described by the word interesting. The apartment that we had moved into, I was about 11 years old. And there's this young boy that comes around and he asks me, "What do you claim?" And in my mind, I'm like, what does this mean? What do you claim? Am I claiming one nationality? So all I said was, "Oh, I'm from Fiji," like a innocent Fiji boy. I didn't realize he was asking me what gang I was associated with. I later understood what that meant. So, that's the kind of culture that introduced me into that world, that life, and just being surrounded by it every day, the pressure. One of the things that I remembered vividly that I struggled with was my sense of identity and trying to fit in, trying to belong somewhere. And the way that I tried to overcome that was fit into the crowd that was the coolest or was seen as the baddest, the hardest, the strongest. So I would hang out with all the tough boys and try to act tough and try to look tough. But alongside of that, I got introduced to drugs and started associating myself with the wrong groups of people. No one really wants drugs before they take it, because we're all aware of its negative impacts. We hear it, it's taught to us in schools. Our parents tell us. My parents told me what it was and what I shouldn't do. And for a long time, I stayed away from it. I tried to stay away as much as possible. Unfortunately, I didn't have the willpower needed to withstand the peer pressure. I grew up in a very, very strong Christian family, a very good family. My parents did a great job with raising me and instilling values, Christian values and principles into my life. Mind you, a lot of this my parents didn't know. And for a long time, they didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to disappoint my parents. I know a lot of young people, they have that same desire. They don't want to disappoint their parents. But you can't hide things for long. And so eventually my parents caught on. And I think it was the best decision that my parents made for me was to move us back to Fiji. I'm very fortunate and very blessed that I was able to come out of it, and before I got to a critical addiction phase, you could say. So yeah, I'm blessed to be here, and then that's part of what I do, is trying to help young people understand the influence that is the pressure that's around them, trying to get them onto it with young people and make right choices in their lives. So currently we have an NGO called Inspire Pacific. We're focused on at-risk boys because we understand that boys seem to be involved in most crimes. Boys seem to be part of the big problem in society, obviously, because they grow to become men, and men are primarily the perpetrators of a lot of crime in our nation. So we want to be part of the solution. We want to be part of helping make a change. The greatest power that we can harness to help a young man move in a direction is peer pressure as well, but it's positive peer pressure. So by creating an environment of positive peer pressure and bringing these boys into the environment, we help these young men be able to develop the skill sets, help to develop the mindset that they need to say no to whatever it is that they need to say no to. Why? Because they're looking at other boys that are doing it. And this is something that I believe is probably the most impactful. I think what's important for me is that men understand that that it's okay to be real, and that you need a space that you can be real. Being a father and being a husband isn't easy. It has its challenges. Trying to navigate family life and marriage life, as well as your responsibilities at work, and if you have responsibilities in the community, if you're especially if you're a leader, trying to balance that is a big challenge, and you have the stress of trying to take care of people, and if you don't take care of yourself, as you take care of people, it can wear you out. So what I like to do to take my mind off things or to clear my mind, I love playing sports. I love basketball, so I put my earphones in, put on some good music, and shoot some hoops. I'm obviously in a different stage of life now. Not to say that I'm perfect in sense of identity. I think we're always trying to fit in somewhere, regardless of what age we're in. We're trying to fit into a community, a group of people, and because of that, we have to sort of try to change who we are and adjust what we say and how we look so that we can fit in. So that's still there, but I would say I'm definitely a lot more confident in who I am today. And some of that confidence is in my ability to share my story and be vulnerable and be open with what I've come through, because I'm not ashamed anymore of my past, and it has shaped me, taking ownership of who I am.